As Vice-Chancellor of the University, I declare this congregation open for the conferring of degrees by the authority of the Senate and the Council. My Lord Mayor, High Sheriff, parents, friends, graduands, I am delighted to welcome you all to this degree congregation. It is a celebration for all those who graduate today. We celebrate your many achievements that culminate in a degree from a major international research and teaching-led university. While you have been with us, the university has developed and changed. We are now a community of 19,000 students and 3,000 staff with a turnover of £150 million. And I should say, that doesn't make it any easier to provide the kinds of services, high-quality research, high-quality teaching that is present in any university that does, of course, constitute a complex organisation. As such, we deal with a range of activities. First, leading-edge research in a range of areas. This year, our Department of Genetics was one of 20 institutions to win the Queen's Anniversary Prize for Higher and Further Education. Physics, as you may know, has worked with the Open University on the Beagle 2 project, and as we speak, a rocket is making its way to Mars, and on board is equipment made in this university. The idea is that the project should discover whether there is life on Mars. One thing of which you can be sure: if we discover life on Mars, we should be signing them up for University of Leicester degrees. In the Faculty of Arts, archaeology has had a very successful year, crowned this last week with the award to Professor David Mattingly of a Fellowship of the British Academy, one of the highest academic honours that any academic can achieve, and I'm sure you would join with me in congratulating him. In the social sciences, Lorna Unwin and Alan Felsted from Labour Market Studies have won a grant from the Economic and Social Research Council valued at around £1 million to look at teaching and learning in the contemporary work organisations. Research is therefore a very important component of this university, but so is teaching. The two are intimately intertwined, no matter what the public debate might claim. Certainly, to emphasise the importance of teaching in this university, we have awarded a number of teaching fellowships across the university to those staff who are engaged in delivering innovative teaching to our students. Members of the English department who are present in this degree congregation will be delighted to know that out of the 4 awards that I presented this Monday, 2 went to staff in that department. Currently, there are a number of special projects in the university looking at educational innovation through teaching methods and curriculum reform that will inform other subject areas besides those in which the work is being done, and also inform the higher education system generally. Professor Stuart Peterson in the Faculty of Medicine and also Dr. Derek Rain in Physics have both earned grants of over £500,000 each in order to deal with fundamental work in this area. But another important dimension of a university is the contribution that we make to the community through the cultural activities that we provide. This is demonstrated by our work with schools, teachers, pupils and parents in the inner city with a view to broadening access, a subject of fundamental importance to this university. Secondly, I would cite our Richard Attenborough Centre for Disability in the Arts. It has attracted a wide range of audiences to exhibitions and innovative concerts this year, and in particular, the concerts have featured winners of the Young Musician of the Year competition, something that I think we need to do more to encourage young professionals in various branches of the arts. And at the present time, our Botanic Garden features a 49-piece international sculpture exhibition from 35 artists located in 13 countries. The exhibition opened last Saturday and runs until mid-September. I hope that you will all take the opportunity to visit it while you are here this week. It is cited by sculptors as being of world-class standard. You can see from my few examples this afternoon that the list of activities associated with the university could be endless. It emphasises why it is so difficult to address questions about the shape and style of universities. Yet during the course of this year, we witnessed the start of a major national debate about the higher education system. Fundamental questions were raised about research, learning, teaching and access. We need to consider in Leicester what kind of university we intend to be. Change is inevitable, but we need to think how we will build on activities where we already have a record of excellence. In Leicester, this will mean developing our contribution to the local and regional economy. Secondly, generating further research grant and contract income to maintain our position among the leading universities in the UK. Delivering teaching that is closely linked to research and evaluated by peers as being excellent. Widening access, widening participation and developing new foundation degrees are all important things to do. Foundation degrees were only created 2 years ago. We graduate the first group of students tomorrow afternoon. That's what widening access is all about. In the coming months, it will be important to establish further strategic alliances and further links with other institutions in higher and further education. We already have a network of 14 colleges of further education and sixth form colleges that work with us, and we are about to develop a special partnership with Bishop Grosseteste College in Lincoln and Newman College in Birmingham, whose courses we will validate from September so that the students there will obtain degrees from the University of Leicester, and we shall also wish to engage in other interesting and exciting projects with both those institutions. Finally, we need to think about ways in which we can continue to develop higher education through distance learning. At the present time, 6,000 students study with us by distance learning. So if any parents and friends are feeling a bit left out of it this afternoon and your heart's desire is to have your own University of Leicester degree, just ask in the entrance hall this afternoon. We could sign you up, and next year this time you could be here. This is an opportunity I'm sure you won't wish to turn up. Because in joining the University of Leicester, you would be joining a university that has been rated a top 20 institution by the Financial Times and the Sunday Times over the last 3 years. We have much to contribute, locally, regionally, nationally, and internationally. Finally, I would like to congratulate all of you on the degrees you have obtained. The class of 2003 has raised the standard even higher. We hope you will keep in touch with the university, and I shall look forward to seeing you at alumni events. But before I close, I would like you to join me in showing your appreciation to your parents, relatives, friends and sponsors who have supported you through the university. So I would now ask the graduating class of 2003 to join me in a round of applause for those people. That's very good. In the competition between faculties on applause, you could be building towards a chance, but we'll judge that at the end of the afternoon. The only thing to say is, have an enjoyable day, applaud your fellow students, and all good wishes to you in your future careers.
Patricia Hodge delights audiences around the world with a wide range of roles in theatre, television and cinema. In a career including musicals, comedy and serious drama, she has demonstrated a versatility of talent that few can match. Patricia grew up in Lincolnshire. Her family ran a large and prestigious hotel, and as a young girl she became fascinated by the stars of stage and screen that came to stay, and often had a kind word for the little girl of the house. At the age of 10, she was taken to see a show called When the Rainbow Ends on the London stage. Spellbound by a glamorous production, she set her sights on a career on the stage. Her parents resisted her strident demands to be sent to a stage school, but she took dancing and singing lessons and grabbed every opportunity to perform in local and school productions. Wisely, she decided to obtain a professional qualification as an insurance against the uncertainties of a stage career, and trained as a teacher. Drama, of course. Doing proved much more attractive than teaching, however, and she soon gained entry to the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art. The instant she walked through the door, she knew that is where she belonged, and her insurance policy has never been cashed in. At the Academy, she received a thorough grounding in all aspects of her arts, and soon came to the attention of a producer from the Travis Theatre in Edinburgh. 40 weeks in a variety of productions gained her the vital equity card, and her career began in earnest. With youthful confidence, she took herself to London and set about breaking into the West End to spectacular effect. Starting with roles in musicals, within 18 months she had star billing, using her combination of excellent singing voice, her training in dance, and developing skills as an actor. A relentless desire to stretch herself further led her to begin turning down the numerous offers of further musicals in favour of other roles. She became fixated on breaking into television, and beginning with small roles, gradually established a presence, appearing in such programmes as The Naked Civil Servant. Not forgetting her roots, she also maintained her work on the stage, and soon became in great demand. In 1977, she was asked to do a new play by a fledgling playwright at the Fringe. Sitting in the audience was John Mortimer and the producer who was to produce Rumpole of the Bailey on TV. She was immediately earmarked for the role of Phillida Erskine Brown, which she played for many years. She is ever in demand for stage and screen. Her television credits include Hotel du Lac, The Life and Loves of a She-Devil, and The Cloning of Joanna May, in addition to a host of other roles. Her films include Sunset with Bruce Willis and Harold Pinter's Betrayal with Jeremy Irons and Ben Kingsley. Following the birth of her first child in 1989, she concentrated her career on the stage, in part to be near home, but mostly because she feels most extended as an actor in theatre, where she has a more direct relationship with the audience in front of her, which can evolve and develop through experiment. Over the last few years, she has appeared in Separate Tables, The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie, and at the Royal National Theatre she played in Money, for which she received Best Supporting Actress in the Olivier Awards, Summerfolk, and Noises Off. She has not neglected the other media, however. Her latest film, Before You Go, was released last year, and she played Margaret Thatcher in the Falklands play on TV. She is currently following an arduous schedule of filming for a new television series for Carlton TV, set in a small Derbyshire village. Patricia Hodge is passionate about her craft. She seeks constantly to extend her abilities in a relentless search for the perfect performance. Refusing to be locked into a particular genre, she has delighted audiences with a huge variety of stunning performances and is a shining example of how determination and professionalism are the key to success in a career. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, on the recommendation of the Senate and the Council, I present to you Patricia Hodge, that you may confer upon her the Honorary Degree of Doctor of Letters.
I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Letters and welcome you among us. Many congratulations.
Vice-Chancellor, Dean, my Lord Mayor, fellow graduates, graduands, as you are at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. Getting robed up for this now, and I'm not a stranger to fancy dress, as you can imagine, it reminded me of a favourite Peter Ustinov story. Peter probably still is the Chancellor of Durham University, and the actor Richard Griffiths was, among others, receiving an honorary degree, and at Durham they parade through the town, the ceremonial. And, of course, the fancy dress gets more elaborate as it gets to the back, and the three honorary graduands with the penultimate people in sort of fairly elaborate finery. And then, finally, Sir Peter Ustinov, as the Chancellor, had the most elaborate. And on this particular occasion, the parade, as you can imagine, takes quite a while, and the traffic has to be halted, much to the dismay of two elderly citizens who'd just done their shopping. So they were standing, waiting with their heavy loads to cross the road. And this parade went on and on and on. And as people passed them, they could hear them saying, well, what is it? When's it going to stop? Finally, they get to the very, very end of it. And Peter Ustinov, as he walks past, hears one of them saying, well, what is it? And the other one says, well, I suppose it's a gypsy funeral. So, what can I tell you? Well, the late and possibly the greatest theatre critic of our time, Kenneth Tynan, was once asked, when you're judging a play or a performance in the theatre, what is it that you look for? What is the criteria you look for? And he said, I ask myself in the first 10 minutes, am I in safe hands? So I thought I'd spare you that judgment today by saying you're not in particularly safe hands with me because, of course, the thing with actors is that our profession is to speak the lines of others. So it's a bit of an error to believe that we're any good at public speaking. So forgive me if I quote too freely on this occasion the words of others. I'll defend my profession, first of all. I didn't abandon teaching. I loved teaching, but this was something I wanted to do more, and I think we generally get a pretty bad press. But I will say this, I think it has an extraordinary ethic at the heart of it. I think possibly that the people I work with are among the hardest working that I've ever witnessed. It was best encapsulated for me in a quote from a French dramatist called Sacha Guitry in a play called Deborah. And the context of this quote is an older clown giving advice to a young novice clown. And he says to him, above all, love your work. Remember, the actor's calling is the finest in the land. It is sometimes a little galling when, with lip politely curled and a supercilious stare, you are told to your face that the theatre has no place among important things. I tell you, it's an art which has its springs in the heart of all mankind. I think it sums it up best for me because to be an actor, you have to be a people person. You have to be passionately interested in people, and I'm certainly that. Somebody once accused me of having a fan's mentality. I took this lightly, but I thought about it later, and I thought, well, you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. I will say to you all, never ever lose your sense of admiration and awe at what others achieve. Even the great Anthony Hopkins confesses to stealing from those he admires, a little bit here and a little bit there, because at the end of the day, you can use fragments of others, but you are unique. Nobody will ever be like you. So it's the way and the multifaceted way that you put yourself together that makes you what you are. Another thing I would say is take your work seriously, but never take yourself too seriously. David Nobbs, who you may or may not know of as one of the great TV comedy writers of the last 20 or 30 years, told me that when he was doing The Rise and Fall of Reginald Perrin with Leonard Rossiter, that you do, as when you're doing television comedy, you do a final rehearsal in which all the crew who are going to televise your performance come and watch, so they know what they're going to be filming the next day, or shooting, should I say, it was on video, because you have a television audience. And in this final rehearsal, David Nobbs was there, and he noticed that Leonard was putting a totally wrong stress, which was very unlike him, on a particular phrase. And it was not the way that David had heard it, and David knew that if it was given the right stress, it would get an enormous laugh. So Leonard was not somebody that you tampered with easily, but he went over and he said, Leonard, I think you'll find in that phrase, marvellous performance, marvellous, but just put the stress on that word and you'll get the laugh. And Leonard looked at him and said, no, you're wrong. Anyway, they cut to when they were doing the transmission, and Leonard delivered the line with the stress as David had asked him to, and it got the most enormous laugh. So David thought, yes, thank goodness. So afterwards in the BBC Club, he ventured over to Leonard and said, "Oh, that was terrific tonight, Leonard, and, I'm so glad you did that because, you could see what happened." And Leonard turned around and said, No, you were utterly and completely wrong. And so was the audience. Finally, not to keep you, I was reading not long ago on radio, because I do like to move between the media, an A.S. Byatt short story. And there was a phrase in it which I thought I could appropriately pull out for today. Remember that in the final analysis, society is not divided between rich and poor, between able and disadvantaged, but between those who really care about the world and all its multiplicity of forms and forces, and those who merely subsist, worrying and yawning. I don't need to question to which group the young people assembled here today belong. It's a wonderful chance for me today to return to these Midlands, where, as you heard, I grew up, and where at the moment, appropriately, I'm working not far away. So you have all of you, more than proved yourselves. You have all my admiration and good wishes, and I'm extremely proud to be counted among you. Thank you.
The graduands in the Faculty of Arts will be presented by the Dean, Professor Yarrington. Will all graduands in the faculty please stand?
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I ask you to admit these candidates from the Faculty of Arts to the several degrees for which they are presented.
Graduands of the Faculty of Arts, by the authority of the Senate, I admit you to the several degrees for which you are presented.
For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Lawrence Marriott. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in English, Shafee Akbarali. Kate Alsop. Daniel Anderson. Kevin Arscott. Katrina Barnard. Victoria Barton. James Batchelor. Sally Bedder. Rosemary Bell. Nina Bennett. Jeffrey Boakier. Winner of the Waddington Prize, Nicola Bowring. Ruth Bromley. Paul Burns. Emma Byrne. Chris Cannaby. Gemma Carr. Rosemary Carver-Smith. Victoria Cherrington. Winner of the Jean and Arthur Humphreys Prize, Nicholas Clark. Nancy Cole. Stephen Cook. Thomas Cookson. Emma Cowlard. Charlotte Davis. Winner of the Waddington Prize, Bryony Dix.
Congratulations, well done on your prize.
Katie Doran.
Congratulations.
Louise Dransfield.
Congratulations.
Amanda Duncombe Shafto.
Congratulations.
James Firth.
Congratulations.
Angela Freed.
Congratulations.
Alistair Freeman.
Congratulations. Well done.
Shelley Galpin.
Congratulations.
Joanna Galvin.
Congratulations. Well done.
Charlotte Gibbs.
Congratulations. Well done.
Lindsay Goddard.
Congratulations.
Hayley Gosling.
Congratulations.
Manpreet Gruel.
Congratulations.
Jade Hartley.
Congratulations.
Lucy Harwood.
Congratulations.
Martha Hayes.
Congratulations.
Robert Herbert.
Congratulations.
Kirsten Lanson.
Congratulations.
Alison Eade.
Congratulations. Well done.
Eleanor Jones.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Lucinda Jones.
Congratulations.
Seema Joshi.
Congratulations.
Patrick Jupp.
Congratulations.
Hannah King.
Congratulations.
Joanna Kirby.
Congratulations. Well done.
Joanne Leavesley.
Congratulations.
Katie Levitt.
Congratulations.
Joel Marzi.
Congratulations. Well done.
Sherry Moore.
Congratulations.
Matthew Newman.
Congratulations.
Celia North.
Congratulations.
Michelle O'Connor.
Congratulations.
Miriam Overton.
Congratulations.
Sarah Owen.
Congratulations.
Ian Palmer.
Congratulations.
Darren Posthill.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Joanna Preedy.
Congratulations. Well done.
Rion Pruvenier.
Congratulations. Well done. Thank you.
Catherine Correll.
Congratulations.
Winner of the Faculty Prize, Jenny Richardson.
Congratulations. And well done on winning the faculty prize.
Mary Richardson.
Congratulations.
Lucy Rogerson.
Congratulations.
Leila Salji.
Congratulations.
Mary Santo.
Congratulations. Well done.
Saruchi Sharma.
Congratulations.
Rachel Sim.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Well done.
Charlotte Smith,
Congratulations.
Deborah Smith,
Congratulations.
Kirsty Smythe,
Congratulations.
William Spears,
Congratulations.
Samuel Stefan,
Congratulations.
Daniel Stewart,
Congratulations.
Nick Sutton,
Congratulations.
Rebecca Taylor,
Congratulations. Well done.
Angela Teese,
Congratulations.
Helen Tovey,
Congratulations.
Naomi Vernon,
Congratulations.
winner of the Dr. Wallace Henry Prize, Kerry Vinal,
Congratulations and well done on your prize.
Chloe Washbrook,
Congratulations. Thank you.
Catherine Webber,
Congratulations.
Angela Williamson,
Congratulations.
Louise Woolhouse,
Congratulations.
Emily Young,
Congratulations.
for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in English, European Union, Dawn Fowler,
Congratulations.
Peter Jennings,
Congratulations.
Robert Lench,
Congratulations.
Barry Norris,
Congratulations.
winner of the Waddington Prize, Luke Vespizer,
Congratulations.
for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in English, Nina Rennie.
Congratulations. Well done.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I ask you to admit to the several degrees for which they are presented by my faculty those candidates who are absent.
By the authority of the Senate, I admit those candidates who are absent to the several degrees for which they are presented.
The graduands in the Faculty of the Social Sciences will be presented by the Dean, Professor Jackson. Will all graduands in the faculty please stand?
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I ask you to admit these candidates from the Faculty of the Social Sciences to the several degrees for which they are presented.
Graduands of the Faculty of the Social Sciences, by the authority of the Senate, I admit you to the several degrees for which you are presented.
For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Robert Anthony.
I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Congratulations.
Sami Fetty.
I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Congratulations.
Alan Fox.
I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
David Shaw.
I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Congratulations.
Timothy Stanton.
I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Congratulations.
Thomas Matthew Tanner.
I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Congratulations.
Donna Woodhouse.
I
I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Arts in Diplomatic Studies, Cyrilla Steele.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Arts in English Local History, Peter Dixon.
Congratulations.
Margaret Ellsworth.
Congratulations.
Pamela Fisher.
Congratulations.
Sarah Louise Mee.
Congratulations.
Anne Pegg.
Congratulations.
Margaret Whaley.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Arts in Globalization and Communications, Yu Zhang.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Arts in International Relations and World Order, Elaine Han Carmi.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Arts in Sociology of Sport, James Button.
Congratulations.
Winner of the Ilya Neustadt Prize for the Sociology of Sport, Philippa Mary Cook.
Congratulations and well done on your prize.
Matthew Johnson.
Congratulations.
Alan Lomax.
Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you very much indeed.
James O'Gorman.
Congratulations.
Andrew Smith.
Congratulations.
Duncan Stone.
Congratulations.
Sarah Maria Taylor.
Congratulations.
Toby Wyatt.
Congratulations.
Yaya Mayumi Yamamoto.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Business Administration and Sports Management, Michelle Bennett.
Congratulations. Well done.
For the degree of Master of Science in Clinical Criminology, Claire Suggett.
Congratulations. Well done.
For the degree of Master of Science in Community Safety, Gary Buttercase.
Congratulations.
Sarah Francis.
Congratulations.
Norman John Gibson.
Congratulations.
Nicholas John Keane.
Congratulations.
Paul Wilson.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Science in Criminal Justice, Sally Brown.
Congratulations.
Andrew Chia.
Congratulations.
Hao Kong Tang.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Science in Health and Safety Management, Richard Altoff.
Congratulations.
Julie Hammond.
Congratulations.
Gerard Han.
Congratulations.
Philip Hunter.
Congratulations.
Robert Allen Lawson.
Congratulations.
Rachel Marriott.
Congratulations.
Christopher McGrath.
Congratulations.
Roger Newell.
Congratulations.
Joe Saliba.
Congratulations.
James Peter Shackle.
Congratulations.
Alistair Smith.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Philip Smith.
Congratulations. Thank you.
For the degree of Master of Science in Policing and Public Order Studies, Peter Yisagana.
Congratulations.
Philip Smith.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Science in Policing and Social Conflict, Jonathan Clark.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Science in Risk, Crisis and Disaster Management, Jeanette Clifford.
Congratulations. Fine, thank you.
Timothy Cracknell.
Congratulations.
Brian Dillon.
Congratulations.
Simon Neil Gill.
Congratulations.
McBain Kanangodza.
Congratulations.
Eleanor Rogerson.
Congratulations.
Andrew David Sanders.
Congratulations.
Andy Shaw.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Science in Security and Organisational Risk Management, Justin Kumute Batenge.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Science in Security and Risk Management, Stephen Bell.
Congratulations.
Graham Campbell.
Congratulations.
Vernon Ericosimo.
Congratulations.
Stuart Gilks.
Congratulations. Thank you.
David Hyde.
Congratulations.
Alan Marsh.
Congratulations.
Paul Stanley.
Congratulations.
David Sumner.
Congratulations.
Mark Toop.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Science in Security Management, Frank Dodson.
Congratulations.
Ian Hunt.
Congratulations.
William Pickup.
Congratulations.
Peter Van Orden.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Science in Sociology of Sport, Jonathan McKinley.
Congratulations.
Richard Meacher.
Congratulations.
Alison Elizabeth Pearce.
Congratulations.
Julie Cressida Price.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Science in Sociology of Sport, Sports Management, Nicholas Liam McCarthy.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Science in Sociology of Sports and Sports Management, Zoe Louise Wilson.
Congratulations. Thank you.
For the degree of Master of Science in Training, John Carey.
Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you.
Karen Hollick.
Congratulations.
Mayor Leosa Parry.
Congratulations.
Andrew Reeder.
Congratulations.
Hannah Wilson.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Science in Training and Human Resource Management, John Adamson.
Congratulations.
David Borg.
Congratulations.
Gregory Brown.
Congratulations.
Hik Yi Dora Chan.
Congratulations.
Maria Pia Churkop.
Congratulations. Well done.
Sui Lin Iris Chow.
Congratulations.
Beverly Kutajar.
Congratulations. Well done.
Martin Iwoma.
Congratulations.
Veronica Farry.
Congratulations. Well done.
Marie Ford.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Annie Gutteridge.
Congratulations.
David Lambert.
Congratulations.
Maria Lau.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Wai Yi Leung,
Congratulations.
Judy Lee,
Congratulations.
Dave Maharaj,
Congratulations.
Pauline Mutamir,
Congratulations.
Ewan O'Grady,
Congratulations. Thank you.
Claire Pace,
Congratulations.
Edward Scott Patterson,
Congratulations. Thank you.
Andrea Pizzi,
Congratulations.
Lily Reagan,
Congratulations. Well done.
Ganasan Selamuthu,
Congratulations. Thank you.
Michelle Taylor,
Congratulations.
John Walsh,
Congratulations.
Sinead White,
Congratulations.
Lai Wan Vanessa Wong,
Congratulations.
for the degree of Master of Science in Training and Performance Management, Ka Ming Chan,
Congratulations.
Rita Cheetle,
Congratulations.
Yun Ching Jennifer Cheng,
Congratulations.
Barry Chester,
Congratulations.
Su Ying Chiu,
Congratulations.
Janet Donnelly,
Congratulations.
Tony Hegarty,
Congratulations.
Dennis Kirby,
Congratulations.
Anastasia Kwok,
Congratulations.
Benedict Louis,
Congratulations.
Anne Lyons,
Congratulations.
Shamina Maharaj,
Congratulations.
Jill MacDonald,
Congratulations.
Grace Shawn,
Congratulations.
Vivian Stokes,
Congratulations. Thank you.
Vivian Ventacha Chelum,
Congratulations.
Nita Webb,
Congratulations. Well done.
The University of Leicester no longer awards degrees in the performing arts. The education and training of artists and artistes is the responsibility of the several royal colleges, academies and schools, whether they be of music, painting, dramatic art or ballet. The two systems exist as parallel universes, as the quantum physicist might say. We observe the life of the parallel universe from afar, or as far away as the theatre stalls, and occasionally an inhabitant of it beams down into our more mundane lives. Then, as is appropriate for a meeting of allies, there is an exchange of compliments and gifts. I say allies, for artists and academics are allies in the forces of civilization. Today, we honour Siobhan Davies, the outstanding choreographer of modern dance. Siobhan Davies first studied dance under Robert Cohen and the Argentinian choreographer Noémie Lapsaison. She was a student dancer in the first performance by the London Contemporary Dance Theatre in 1967 and was to be associated with that company for 20 years as a leading dancer and choreographer. Her first choreography, Relay, was for the LCDT in 1972. In 1980, she formed Siobhan Davies and Dancers. They later joined forces with the Ian Spink Group and Richard Alston and Dancers, with whom she had worked as a choreographer in the 1970s, to form Second Stride, of which she was joint director from 1981 to 1986. She then studied in the United States for a year on a Fulbright Arts Fellowship. Siobhan Davies formed the Siobhan Davies Dance Company in 1988 after her return from the United States. This company makes and presents her new work, which celebrates the dancer as a creative artist. In all, she has choreographed more than 20 works for the dance company. Her piece, for them, The Art of Touch, won the Olivier Award in 1996. The same piece was televised by the BBC in 1998. From 1995 to 1997, she was choreographer in residence and senior research fellow at the Roehampton Institute in London. In 1996, she was made an honorary fellow of the Trinity College of Music in recognition of her creative work with musicians, both in commissioning new scores and involving live music in performance. She was named one of the 6 Creative Britons in 2000, the millennium year, and was appointed MBE in 1995 and then CBE in 2002. Siobhan Davies has said that dance has within itself an intelligence that highlights human thinking and activity. She places the dancer at the centre of the work, providing a creative environment for individual and mature dancers to develop artistically. Each production provides opportunities for the dancers to continue their own personal exploration of movement, whilst also working collectively. She said of her 2002 piece, Plants and Ghosts, "I bring initial ideas, help evolve material as the dancers experiment with movement, and finally, I edit and structure the whole. It is the dancers who make and remake the movement and contribute ideas and arguments that strengthen the final work." With this level of creative thinking and collaboration, it is no surprise that the Siobhan Davies Dance Company is now considered to be Britain's flagship independent dance company. Siobhan Davies also means to share and extend her discoveries through education within and beyond the profession of dance. In 1997, her company gave a stunning performance at the then newly opened Richard Attenborough Centre for Disability in the Arts, which is a part of this university. This performance has been described not only as a huge coup for the centre, but a kickstart for its success. She is fully committed to the ideas of that centre. In this area, she frequently holds open rehearsals and introduces studio performances to explain her work. Her other activities include masterclasses aimed at higher-level students of dance, music, or the visual arts, and workshops for educationalists. When we consider the work of Siobhan Davies, we feel, to borrow from a completely different theatre, shock and awe. There is the shock of the new, to use Robert Hughes' phrase, and awe at the artistry, creativity, and sheer productivity she demonstrates. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, on the recommendation of the Senate and of the Council, I present Siobhan Davies that you may confer upon her the Honorary Degree of Doctor of Letters.
I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Letters and welcome you among us. Many congratulations.
To say I'm overwhelmed is not quite accurate. Thank you very, very much for making me feel welcome and to be amongst you, all dear University of Leicester. Having listened to that extraordinary piece of writing, I have to remember another instance which might bring me down to ground a little bit. I was sitting in a first performance, I think, of a new piece of mine at Sadler's Wells about 3 or 4 years ago. And I always go out into the audience and I try and find somebody that I don't know so that I can just sit calmly by their side. And I sat down, I certainly didn't know her, and we both watched this performance. And there must have been the odd intake of breath from me, or the odd shrug. And I was sort of with the dancers all the time, and I may have sighed a little bit. And the performance ended, and she patted me on the shoulder and she said, "Never mind, dear, there are other better performances you can go to. Do try again." So that'll get me down to ground now after this ceremony. What was I going to say next? I know. I do feel quite strange here. I didn't go to university. Most of you, even the parents who've come here, have at least dropped your children off or picked them up. This to me is a quite strange place, and I feel truly spine-tingly different from this day onward. I started dance straight after school. I went to art school in the 1960s, very briefly, because everybody was on strike. I couldn't really stay and do any work. So somebody took me to a dance class, and I started becoming a dancer. And it's true, I started dancing after only a year of practice, and you can imagine how dreadful I was. But there was something so extraordinary about the very act of moving, and at the same time being able to explain part of the human condition that was completely unable to be explained in any other art form. So in the rather bad and humble way, I kept going. And finally, I did some of the things that have been mentioned. But just recently, I re-looked at this art of dance, and I see in front of me a dancer with the full working experience of their body, with an intellect that is more extraordinary than I think you and I now understand, but the majority of the audience don't understand. Sometimes when I go to dinners and I get introduced as she's a dancer or a choreographer, you can see people's eyes glaze over and they go, "Charming, delightful. Well, you must be healthy." When in fact, I can tell you most dancers enjoy a good bottle of wine and a very, very stout dinner every night. So here I am back in the studio, and I'm watching these superb creatures at work, and I am looking at them close at hand. And I'm finding this art form, the one that you may find strange, totally extraordinary. So can I encourage you to come and see more dance? And if I can be your fairy godmother, just for 5 minutes, could I say, as you move forward in life, go and see and learn and enjoy the arts for all they're worth, because they're here for you now. You are the ones that are going to be able to disseminate them, enjoy them, learn through them, argue with them, debate with them, and you are the ones that are going to make our lives far more interesting. So I wish you enormous well and success and future happiness and good work. Thank you very, very much.
The remaining graduands in the Faculty of the Social Sciences will now be presented by the Dean, Professor Jackson.
Madam Pro-Vice-Chancellor, for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Contemporary History, Catherine Barker. James Barrett. Joanna Bailey. Katie Bergen.
Well done.
Alistair Curry.
Congratulations.
Victoria Davis.
Congratulations.
Winner of the H.J. Dias Prize, John Harrison.
Well done. Well done.
Anne Lapalainen.
Well done.
Alexandra Marsden.
Congratulations.
Kirsty McKinnon.
Congratulations.
Michael Nicholson.
Congratulations.
Jonathan Rose.
Congratulations.
Matthew Selman,
Congratulations.
Andrew Sargent,
Congratulations.
Lawrence Wells.
Well done.
For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Economic and Social History, Catherine Bennett.
Well done.
Greg Buddery,
Well done.
Dan Cadman,
Well done.
Ross Carter, Canavan Connolly,
Congratulations.
winner of the Ralph Davis Prize, Timothy Davies.
Congratulations. Well done.
Mark Finch,
Congratulations.
Patricia Gray,
That's a go.
Mark Greenwood,
Well done.
winner of the H.J. Dias Prize and the Ralph Davis Prize, Claire Leicester.
Well done. Well done. Both prizes. Well done.
Winner of the Ralph Davis Prize, Anna Maybon.
Well done.
Alison McQuinn,
Congratulations.
Ruth Mycock,
Well done.
Lewis Patching,
Well done.
Ewan Phillips,
Well done.
Daniel Robinson,
Well done.
Cecily Sharp,
Congratulations.
David Sheen,
Congratulations.
Andrew Shreve,
Congratulations.
Christopher Stanton,
Well done.
Shan Swan,
Well done.
I.A. Tain,
Well done.
Paul Thorne,
Well done.
Matthew White,
Well done, Matthew.
Jonathan Winwood,
Well done, Jonathan.
Laura Wood,
Well done, Moira.
Andrea Youngman.
Well done, Moira.
For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Human Geography, Victoria Alston,
Well done, Victoria.
Christopher Amson,
Well done, Chris.
Kate Barrow,
Congratulations.
Kirsty Brannan,
Well done, Christy.
Danny Burton,
Well done, Dan.
Helen Fisher,
Well done.
Sarah Francis,
Well done, Sarah.
Natalie Goss,
Well done, Natalie.
Philip Lear,
Well done, Philip.
Ben Milmore,
Well done, Ben.
Katie Perry,
Well done, Katie.
Elizabeth Ryan,
Well done, Ruth.
Robert Utting,
Well done, Robert.
Lee Williams.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Geography and Economic and Social History, Cherry Davis,
Well done, Terry.
Leslie Gill,
Well done, Leslie. Cheers.
Graham Oster,
Well done.
Rebecca Senior.
Well done, Rebecca.
For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Politics, Matthew Barker,
Well done, Matthew.
Lucinda Bost,
Well done, Lucinda.
David Boot,
Well done, David.
winner of the Elsie and Barnett Janner Travel Scholarship, Katie Brightwell,
Enjoy your scholarship, yeah?
Yazin Sismeki,
Well done, Yazin.
Bruff Cooper,
Well done, Ross.
Jonathan Cross,
Well done, Ross.
John Devine.
Well done, John.
Winner of the Maurice Hookham Prize, Celine Domecq.
Well done on your prize, Celine. Well done.
Charles Field.
Well done.
Winner of the Elsie and Barnett Jana Travel Scholarship, Rebecca Foley.
Well done. Enjoy your scholarship.
Sean Garner.
Cheers.
George Giorgio.
Well done.
Rhys Gittins-Owen.
Well done, Reece.
Matthew Harrison.
Well done, Matthew.
Sarah Haley.
Cheers.
Sanjeet Heer.
Well done, Sanjay.
Emma Hutchings.
Well done, Emma.
Nick Johnson.
Well done, Rick.
Claire Judge.
Well done.
Victoria Kay.
Well done, Vicky.
Robert Kirby.
Well done, Robert.
Claire Leicester.
Well done.
Victoria Lincoln.
Well done, Victoria.
Lucinda McKittrick.
Well done, Lucinda.
Lucy Muffet.
Well done, Lucy.
Navneet Narwal.
Well done, Yannick.
Robert Newman.
Well done, Robert.
Edward Norman.
Congratulations.
Matthew Owen.
Well done, Matthew.
Raki Popat.
Congratulations.
Carol Robinson.
Well done.
Navdeep Sandhu.
Well done, Matthew.
Matthew Sharps.
Well done, Matthew.
Neil Skinner.
This is receiving the award.
Kimberly Southard.
Well done, Kimberly.
Robin Tier.
Well done, Robin.
Christopher Terry.
Well done, Chris.
Caroline Thomas.
Well done, Caroline.
Robin Thomas.
Well done, Robin.
Paul Thompson.
Well done.
Claire Watts.
Well done, Claire.
Robert White.
Well done, Robert.
Benui Zasinger.
Well done, Melanie.
For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Politics and Economic and Social History, Matthew Blanchard.
Well done, Matthew.
Craig Caffrey.
Congratulations.
Richard England.
Well done, Richard.
Susie Garth.
Well done.
Ian Moore.
Well done.
Helen Norbury.
Well done.
Edward Palferman.
Well done.
Simon Warden.
Well done.
For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Sociology, Sarah Adams.
Well done, Sarah.
Louise Bandel.
Well done, Louise.
Sonia Berkel.
Well done, Sonia.
Dean Boonham.
Well done, Dean.
Winner of the Sociology Best Performance Prize, Tracy Carter.
Well done, Tracy. Well done.
Tajinder Dami.
Well done, Adinda.
Bryony Gribben.
Well done.
Lee Hughes.
Well done.
Carla Ledley.
Well done.
Amy Leddington.
Well done.
Mark Mullaney.
Well done.
Holly Norton.
Well done.
Daniel Olney.
Well done, Daniel.
Natasha O'Sullivan,
Well done, Natasha.
Joanna Payne,
Well done.
Sarah Penn,
Well done.
Hannah Phillips,
Well done.
Kimberly Reynolds,
Well done, Kimberly.
Simon Rundle,
You like the time?
Tom Skilbeck,
Well done, John.
Jennifer Stewart,
Well done.
Ruth Trevor,
Well done.
Leanne Whale,
Well done, Leanne.
Gabrielle Wigmore,
Well done, Gabrielle.
Adam Wild,
Well done, Gavin.
Catherine Wild,
Well done, Catherine.
Jennifer Wilday,
Well done, Jennifer.
Katie Winterburn,
Well done, Katie.
Helen Wood,
Well done.
for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Sociology, Isata Abduli,
Well done, Asata.
Jennifer Archer,
Well done, Jennifer.
Helen Bedford,
Well done.
Lindsay Bell,
Well done.
Amy Blease-Bourne,
Well done.
Julie Brown,
Well done.
Michael Burgess,
Well done, Nigel.
Michelle Chubbuck,
Well done, Michelle.
winner of 2 Sociology Best Performance Prizes and the Faculty Prize, Richard Courtney.
Well done, lad.
Bethan Davis,
Cheers.
Keir Freestone,
Well done.
Harriet Gilby,
Well done.
Claire Granger,
Well done, Claire.
Nicholas Hill,
Well done, Nicholas.
Kelly Jusab,
Well done, Kelly.
Sukhbir Man,
Well done, Sukhbir.
Jane Mason,
Well done, Jane.
Salima Murji,
Well done, Selina.
Emily Painter,
Well done.
Emily Paulson,
Well done.
winner of the Ilya Neustadt Prize, Gemma Powell,
Well done, Gemma. Well done.
Gemma Pritchard,
Well done, Gemma.
Richard Prowse,
Well done, Richard.
Sophia Ravat,
Well done, Sophia.
Taranjit Sandar,
Well done, Ranjit.
winner of the Ilya Neustadt Prize, Rachel Speechley,
Well done, Michelle. Well done.
Isha Varachi,
Well done, Lisa.
Natalie Williams,
Well done.
for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Sociology, Harpreet Soodoo.
Well done, Archie. Well done.
Madam Pro Vice-Chancellor, I ask you to admit to the several degrees for which they are presented by my faculty those candidates who are absent.
By the authority of Senate, I admit those candidates who are absent to the several degrees for which they are presented. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, honorands, new graduates, ladies and gentlemen, I should like to start these final remarks by adding my warmest congratulations to our honorary graduands, who do us honour by being here with us today. Their achievements, particularly in the fields in which they have achieved, are not just an inspiration to us, but also a kind of light which, as one of them said, serves to make all of our lives more interesting. I congratulate also our new-made graduates who have now been through the rite of passage. You've done the bit that transforms you from being undergraduates to graduates. You can never go back. You can never go back through a rite of passage. From now on, you're graduates and you take your place as graduates in the world. And to that is due the warmest congratulations. And also, I congratulate your parents, your family, your friends, who should, and I'm sure do, feel very proud not just of what you, the graduates, have achieved, but also what they have achieved in getting you to this position. Not a light thing, I assure you, to see one's children through these difficult, dangerous years. Now, this is the time of the year when, across the land, elderly persons like me are presuming to give tips on the art of living to young things like you. So here are some of the thoughts that seem to me to be important. And the first thing I want to say is, mark this, sleep with it written under your pillows. Life is not a rehearsal, it only comes round once. So whatever you do, make the most of it. Make the most of the opportunities that come by. And when I say make the most of the opportunities, what I really mean is go out there and make your own opportunities, because that's really how opportunities happen. As you go along your lives doing this, I would suggest to you that you should not dance to others' tunes. Each of you work out what's right for you and go for it. Now, this doesn't mean being sort of pushy or unpleasant or any of these kinds of things, but it does mean being honest, open, and independent. It means, in fine, be your own people, be your own men and women. I think, actually, your generation needs this kind of thing said to it less than other generations have done, because I think you're actually pretty good at doing this. But what I'm saying, I think, is cultivate the strength, cultivate the habit of mind, which reads, thinks, questions, criticises, and does its own thing at the end of a period of reflection. And then I'd like to say, respect everybody you come across, regardless of, what their background is, class, rich, poor, gender, colour, creed, the whole human salad. Respect everybody. Everybody has their life to lead. Everybody has their own story to tell. Every story is just as important as every other story. Now, again, this is something I think that your generation is very good at. But the kind of respect that everybody is due from everybody only comes by mutual vigilance. It's something that can slip out of kilter very easily. So you need to keep your eye on the ball and keep up what you are already so good at doing. And I'd also say to you, and I think this is very important, keep faith with the disciplines that you have chosen to study, or if you're master's degree people, perhaps the undergraduate disciplines that you chose to study. Try and keep up a bit of reading. Try and belong to a society or a group that keeps the thing in your minds. Now, I'm not talking about work and jobs, because they may or may not have a bearing on the degrees that you did. I'm talking about your own kind of personal lives, because the disciplines that you've done, all of you in the social sciences and the arts, speak to the human condition, of which we all are a part. And the inner interest, the inner strength and feeling, the inner capacity to feel, which they will give to you, is a huge resource which can help you get through the bad bits of your lives and can enhance the good times, because it's very close to you, it's essentially part of the centre of you, but at the same time, it's not about you. So it's got that distance as well as that closeness, which is an enormous strength. And I would say to you too, cherish the friends which you've made at Leicester. These are also a huge mutual source of strength as you go on. You've probably made the closest friends you'll ever make in your lives in the last few years. And cherish them, don't let them go from your lives if you can possibly help it. So I'd like to end these brief words by saying, enjoy your future lives. Enjoy your memories of Leicester. And come back and see us as soon as you can. Thank you.
Well, that brings us to the end of the proceedings for this afternoon. But as you know, we run this competition every year as to which faculties can clap loudest and longest. The arts came pretty close to winning last year. So arts and social science combined ought to be in with a really good chance. So one more time, so that we have it on record up in the box, for the graduating class of 2003 in the arts and the social sciences. Congratulations. Sounds to me like some of you want to be back here Friday afternoon to hear the result. I now declare this congregation closed.